Hey guys, I'm Jase of Jase Outdoors, and in this video I'm just going to show you how I went about making a bed for the back of my truck with a drawer to carry all my hunting stuff. So in this crazy world that we're living in right now, I had to come up with something, some place to sleep, because during turkey season I'm running all over. I'm usually crashing on whoever's couch I can to hunt, because I hunt a lot of places and some faraway places, and just with this virus going around, it's gonna be really difficult for me to, you know, crash at people's homes. So I came up with this idea. You know, I've done some research on YouTube and seen a lot of guys make their own beds, and there's a lot of cool stuff out there, but some of it was so far beyond me because I just don't have the tools, equipment. So unfortunately I don't have the process of me making this, because I used a lot of leftover stuff. I think the only thing that I had bought was a sheet of plywood and some L brackets for the drawer. This was very simple to do. It's very basic. There's things I learned along the way that I would do differently next time. So I'm just gonna go through it and show you how I did it. And here's my bed. So I basically, I made this the length of my bed, the whole bed. I had it stop a little short so that I could put a nice handle on there. Some guys will, you know, carve out where they can insert a handle right here. But again, I didn't have a router or anything, so I'm doing this the best I can. I made it so that it'll stop against this. Once the tailgate is closed, it's gonna hit right up against there, and it will not open up when I'm driving around. So if we open this up, as you can see, I got a lot of my hunting stuff in here, and it goes way back there. So the cool thing I did here, anyway, was put these magnets to hold the guns. So this thing, these guns will not move. They're just on there by magnet, and as you can see, that it's pretty hard. They are padded, so it shouldn't scratch up the guns. Not that I'm worried about this gun, because it's taking a beating. Here's the L bracket that I used on each one. I just put down a rubber mat that I had laying around. I didn't have enough to complete it, but I might end up using one of those toolbox pads with a, you know, non-slip. This is pretty grippy, but anyways. So this drawer is not on any kind of rails or sliders, because I did look into them, and some of them are kind of expensive. Again, this thing really cost me next to nothing to make, and it's just leftover wood. And that's why I don't have me putting this together, because I changed my mind so many times because I didn't know what was going to fit. So I didn't bother filming it, because it took me a couple days to put this together. But it's not on rails, and for a stop, all I did, if I pull this out a little bit further, I just had the back piece of wood come up, so when it leans forward, it holds that in place. So as you can see, that thing is suspended there. The only thing I have to keep in mind when I close the drawer is to make sure I lift it up, or else this lip here will hit my tailgate if I'm not holding it down. So it kind of goes up on its own though. So, and it slides pretty darn easy. I mean, again, rails would be nice, but I just wasn't going to spend the money on it. As you can see, even with all this weight in here, it slides out pretty darn easy, and I'm even on an incline, so there's no problem. So we'll put this in. I'm just gonna jump up in here. For a mattress, I used it's a trifold memory foam. I put a couple hooks right here to hold my decoys. I'll just screw those in. But anyway, so this folds up. That folds up like that for when I'm not hunting, and I'll pile my stuff over here and put it in bins. But so I have the mat on here, the non-slip, so when I'm out running and gunning, I put all my hunting gear on here. I also have magnets right here, so I made this lip a little higher on the side just to hold my mattress in, and so I can put a gun here, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So when I'm coming back from a hunt, and usually I'm typically in a hurry to get to the next spot, I just can slide my gun in here and it sucks fast to that, and that thing does not move. Those magnets are pretty cool. Matter of fact, it's even hard to get off of there. I'm also in the process of running power back here so I can charge my camera batteries and my phone batteries and whatnot. So this runs directly to the battery. I just have to wait till I get my mount in that I will screw into the side here, where I can use a cigarette lighter to charge my stuff, because constantly charging batteries. So I'm going to pull this whole thing out just so you can see what it looks like upside down and understand how I put it together. So just one thing I wanted to note before I pull this out, I do not have this fastened in here at all, and it does not move. I made sure that I cut around the edge here so it fits tight in here. As you can see, like, it doesn't move, and it's really not that hard to get out. And this thing is super light. The drawer is super light. Again, this was very minimal material, and I can show you here in the drawer. This is the inside, so I just have that real smooth, like that balsa wood. It's real smooth. That's what my drawer slides on. That's it, and it slides out so easy. I mean, I was kind of surprised how easy that slides out. I put a little leftover piece on the side too, because the sides will rub, just to make it easy. But you can sand the sides down real nicely, and it shouldn't be a problem sliding it out at all. So as you can see, it doesn't take two people to carry this thing. It's super light. Actually, I think the heaviest part on was this mat that I put on here. So this is it upside down, just to give you an idea. So the plywood overhangs the side here. So this basically will sit right on top of the wheel well, just for a little extra support. So I felt like I really didn't need support here at all. I only quickly screwed in this because I'm probably going to change out this mat. There's a bolt in the back of my bed that I had to go around, so I had to cut around that. So basically, I just made a box, as you can tell, and I put these supports in on the bottom for the slider, the drawer slide, and just to strengthen the sides. But that's, I mean, it's as simple as it gets. I put a support in down there, if you can see that, just to screw all that in there and have something to rest on to give it some strength. But that's what it looks like. So the same thing with the drawer. I just basically framed that out. It's a sheet of plywood at the bottom, with just small rails, only 3 inches. I could have brought it up to the same height as the drawer, but I'm really not worried about stuff falling out in there, because of the side rails on the bed. And this way it just keeps the weight down also. This drawer is super light. Even with all that stuff in, I can pick that up. I put L brackets in the back, and again the backstop is just a little high so that when it falls forward it hits the roof of the bed and prevents the drawer from coming out. So then you also have this little side compartment here where I like to throw stuff in without having to use a drawer. You could extend the front plate of your drawer over to here to cover the hole to the wheel well. But I just left it open, that way I don't have to pull the drawer out every single time. I can just throw some stuff in there that I, you know, grab off, and that's really about it. It's I think it's about as easy and as basic as you can get. Again, I've seen some really good ones done on YouTube that were just kind of beyond me. I just didn't even have the tools. This I, you know, used the drill and a circular saw, and yeah, the drawer's not exactly perfectly square, but it works, and that's all that matters to me. So just to recap the bed, again, it's a sheet of plywood that I'd cut down to the size that I felt it's 27 inches across, and that's exactly what size my mattress is, 27 inches. And I went the same length as the mattress. So I basically built this box around my mattress, and I also wanted it to make sure it was going to sit into one of these grooves, which is this one here, so that, you know, it can't slide much in there. But once this is in there, it does not move one bit. So that's the reason for my width. I ran this width is the wheel well, so this runs right along the wheel well, and this will overhang the wheel well, so it rests on top of it, so that gives me support there. And basically you're just going to make a box. You know, there are way better ways to do this. Again, I just don't have the tools, so I basically just screwed it on each side, each end, put a bunch of screws down there, and frame this up. These might have been one of the harder things that I did, because you got to make sure that they're the exact same all the way down, and you know, having one screw, two I think maybe, these would twist, but I got them glued in there and I got them screwed in there so they don't turn. You want to make sure that, you know, when the drawer slides in and out of here, that this is perfectly flat. Also on the drawer, I just want to point out real quick, on the handle, again, I don't have a router or anything. I took a big drill bit and I just screwed in from the top, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it without me taking all my stuff out, but underneath of it, I just kind of carved out a handle so I can stick my hand up in there and really get a good grip of that. I really screwed on the drawer pretty tough, because again, there's not much that's holding it together. I did put the L brackets on there, but it's not going anywhere. It's pretty strong. So I don't really know what else to say about it. Again, this is about as basic as I could come up with, even though I feel like it didn't start out like that, because I just couldn't make up my mind. I didn't know how wide. I didn't know what for pieces I had. It was kind of a process. That's again, I'm using stuff that we just had laying around too, besides the plywood. But if you have any questions, if I didn't make something clear or you didn't understand, that you want to try this, again, this is super easy. It doesn't require a lot of tools and really any kind of gear. So I'm gonna throw this back in and show you how easy that is. But if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm kind of looking forward to sleeping in this. This is gonna be my new home for turkey season, I think. As soon as I get the power in here, I'll be good to go. What do you say, bro? What do you think?
Yep.
Yep. I'm gonna have to build you a bed.
Do it. Put me in the drawer.
And put you in the drawer? Okay. Could probably get you in there, little man.
We just need to find a mattress that big.
Ah, you don't need a mattress.